Kick the truth to the young black youth. Proof. Kick the truth to the young black youth. Proof. Kick the truth to the young black youth. Proof.
Y'all already know what it is. It's the Proof in the Pudding podcast show, and I go by the name of Sion 919. Today, I'm excited about today's show because I've known this brother for a long time. He's definitely out here putting in work. If you like the party, if you ever been out in Raleigh, you've probably been at an event, and he's been controlling the ones and twos. He'll definitely a stand-up brother, solid brother, moving and shaking in the game. So without any further ado, I want to welcome him to the stage. He goes by the name of DJ Red Trunk. How you feeling, brother?
I'm good, fam. I appreciate you, man. Thank you, man.
Yo, salute to you. Yo, salute. You've been putting in that work, bro. You putting in work out here, yo. You definitely grinding, yo. So for the people that may not be familiar, right? Let's let them know a little bit about you and let them know where you're originally from.
I'm originally from a small town, north of Durham, Roxborough. I was a military brat. Mother was in the Army, got a chance to travel and just experience different people and everything, whatever, and that kind of grew my love for music. Just being around different states, different countries, whatever. Right. Just music was always the same.
Yeah, that's a fact right there. So yeah, you definitely a DJ, producer, and more. So like, yo, you said just being around, traveling, you experiencing different types of music and stuff like that. What were some of your earliest experiences, and what kind of like inspired you and make you say, yo, I want to get into that?
My first DJ job was for my father. Everybody used to know. Everybody had that father there. Everybody came to their house. Right. They drank beer and whatever and listened to records. I was the DJ. I'm picking the records. I'm picking the songs. You know what I mean? I was on autopilot. I knew every record, knew what song to play and everything. Whatever. I was just my first DJ job for my father.
Wow.
So whatever.
Yeah. So that's the thing right there. So it's like everybody over there turning up. Like around what age were you when you first started doing that?
Probably 8, 9.
Wow, so early in the game. Yeah. Right, yeah, so let me ask you, what type of music was y'all vibing to back then? Like, what type of music was your pops and them listening to?
Well, he was on like Gregory Abbott, Freddie Jackson, Cameo.
Oh yeah,
those type. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Every blue moon let me buy a record. My first record I ever bought was Marley Marl in Control with the symphony on and all that on. That's why I still got that record to this day.
Still got it to this day. We talking about vinyl. We're not talking about CDs. This vinyl back in the day.
Original vinyl,
Yo, and that's real right there. Yo, so back then, like, yo, you start playing the records, autopilot DJing and stuff like that. So let's talk about how you evolved into who you are today. Like, what was that journey like for you?
Just I always had the love for music. I was young in high school. I sold mixtapes. Right. I was lucky enough to know a DJ who was in the record pool that had all the 12-inch vinyls. And I had all the B-sides and stuff that you can get on the radio or from a record store or whatever. So I sold mixtapes and that got me get the thirst. And like I said, I sold out every Friday. I sold out. I come with 20 mixtapes and sold out every Friday.
20 mixtapes and selling them
every Friday.
Yo, that's the thing back then. Back then with them vinyls. Back then, yeah, that's real right there. Back then you had the instrumentals, the acapellas, and all that back there on the vinyls back then. So was you doing like blends or was you like scratching? What was your forte back then when you first started in high school?
Just mixing, more mixing and blending. With I won't have any scratching then. Just mixing to make a solid mixtape. You know what I mean?
Right. Yo, and that's the thing right there. So you sell out, so everybody knew about you out there. They like, yo, I got to get the new tape. Kind of like Juice with Q. It's like, yo, you brought the last tape.
Right.
Yo, so that's the thing. A lot of these young people, they don't know nothing about that right there. So let me ask you, like, yo, what was your creative process like back then? Like, how did you find the records? Like, yo, I'm gonna put this on there. Like, what drew you? And were you going for like the songs that wasn't on the radio? You were breaking records. Like, what was your style back then?
I didn't do the radio. I did songs that I like personally. You know what I mean? Like I had a certain mode. If I like a song, whatever. And it didn't matter, you know, where it came from. I liked it. It didn't have to be the best song on the LP. Right. Might be a little underground on the backside that I love better than the one you play on the radio or whatever. So
right. That's the thing. And that's the thing right there. That separates the real DJs, because a lot of them, they just playing what's popular.
Nah,
real DJs break the records.
You play what you like. You play what you like to hear. That sounds good. You play good music, and you'll be okay.
Right, and that's the thing right there. So, all right, we're talking about the era of the mixtapes with the actual CDs. So it's like back then you had the DJ Clues and people like that. What were some of the people that influenced you back then?
I was heavy Clue. Everything Clue dropped, soaked it up. From being down here, we had access.
Right.
So the best way to get something on something new is get it off the Clue. We had internet back then, whatever. So you had to get it secondhand. You couldn't get it firsthand like you can get it today. You know what I mean?
Right. Nah, that's a fact right there, yo. And that's a fact right there. And it's like, yo, I remember one spot that it used to be in Raleigh, Mr. Freeze. Mr. Freeze was like one of the only spots where we could get the mixtapes up here. So it was like the DJ Kashims, the Lazy K's and stuff like that. So it was like, yo, you was doing that. So pretty much in Roxborough, you was the plug for the music.
Kinda. But most time when I really got into music, I was out of Roxborough. I was overseas. I was out of Roxborough, wherever.
Oh wow! So let's talk about that overseas. What was that like over there? Because I'm pretty sure the music scene was different overseas than it was over here.
Oh, it was the best, man. Like because overseas is like a melting pot. Imagine you took Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill, and put them all in one big school. So everybody was from everybody. So you had people from different nationalities, different music, and it was just crazy. It was the best learning experience of my life. I mean, as far as music wise, we had people everywhere. And then on top of that, being in a different country, everything was just different. So it was dope.
Yeah, that's the thing right there. And like you said, Germany, and it's like Germany, Europe, they still hot spots to this day. Those are like a lot of people they touring over there. So you was there firsthand. So like, yo, for the people that never been, what was that experience like? What was the scene like as far as like the culture out there? Because we think about hip hop and R&B here. What was that culture like out there?
Same way. They absorbed what was hot at the time. Like, you know what I mean? You can tell, like, if a hot, they would deal with it too. Even though, like, Too Loud, when I was there, Too Loud was up. You know what I mean? It was hot on our side and their side. You know what I mean? They ain't understand the words most of the time, but they knew the beat, rhythm. You know what I mean? So what we like, they look for what we like, what they like for us on the hip hop side.
Right. And that's the thing. That's the power of music right there. How it influences all around the world, and there's a feeling. So, like you said, they may not have heard the words, but it may be the beat. It might have been the vibration. They connected to it. So, like being on both sides, because you was in the States and then being over there, seeing both sides. Like, what's some similarities and what's some of the differences that you noticed in the game?
A hot song is a hot song, regardless. You know what I mean? Where you at? If it hits, it hits. No matter where you at, as far as you overseas, over here. So, and it's enough of those type tracks out there for a DJ to play every song. Should be one of those.
Right.
It shouldn't be you know what I mean? It shouldn't be no letdown. Just learn. Just taught me how to appreciate hot songs, whatever. And it's good wherever you go. That music gonna go with you.
That music gonna go with you. Yo, salute to Dennis. Yo, Dennis is chimed in. Salute to Dennis Coley. Salute to the homie right there.
That's big brother. That's my partner in crime. My big brother. Big salute to him.
Yeah, that's a fact right there. Yo, he he owns the London Bridge, right?
He worked. I mean, he the man there. He the man
Yeah,
there.
facts. So salute to Dennis right there. Yo, definitely that's love right there. So like you said, yo, good music is good music wherever you at, all around the world. So
Right.
it's like, what are some of the places that you've been, if you remember, like some of the spots that you went? Because I know you said you was in the military. You was a military child. So what were some of the places that you got to travel to?
Germany was my favorite. Germany. I was in Tennessee. I was in California. What I was at? I was in Michigan. I mean, it was just good travel. You know what I mean? Like, and the people you met that was so diverse. It just, you was out that box. You know what I mean? I'm from a small town, so you from a small town, you in a box, whatever.
Right.
But being around different cultures and it just helps you grow, man.
Yeah, and that's a fact right there. So you get multi. It's like you're more flexible. It's like, yo, you can do both, versatile or whatever. Right. So like being over there. So you said Tennessee, and you said some Midwest too. You said the Midwest, right?
I was in California for a little bit.
California,
in Michigan.
In Michigan too. Now Michigan is rough. Michigan is rough out there. Certain parts of Michigan is rough out there.
It was fun. I caught my first LL Cool J Bad cassette at the corner store in Detroit. You know what I mean? So I need that cassette. Mom's like, all right.
Yeah.
First, you know what I mean?
In the store.
From the corner store.
Wow. Yeah, that's how much times has changed right there. Yeah. That's the thing right there. So let me ask you, right? Okay, so you're doing the music, you were following it, following the culture at the time, right? How does it feel looking back, right? Because now this years later, DJ Red Trunk, you doing clubs, you out here doing your thing. Like, did you ever think that you would be doing that back then? You ever think you would be where you are today when you first started back then?
I did. Wow. Not doing no cocky stuff like that. If I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, I feel like people saying being from a small town, it's like, you know what I mean, like your weakness, but that's my strength because I'm from a small town. I'm always fighting to get in the room. You know what I mean?
Right.
I said I'm a DJ. I said, you know what? It's gonna take some time, but I'm gonna grind out until I, be respected. You know what I mean?
Wow. You're definitely doing that. So let me ask you, what point was it in your career, right, when you knew, like, yo, I can do this for real? Because it's like, yo, some people, they DJ and they never make it to that next level. But it's like, yo, you out here everywhere, bro. I done seen you at all types of venues, all types of events. You've been doing it. I met you doing it. So It's like, yo, so how did that feel? And when did you know, like, yo, I'm solidified now. I got this. I can do this. I can make this a career.
But the first big step was actually I did a party for Team Collective. Wow. I did a party because I was just doing like this dibbling dabbling before then. That was my first. Shout out to them. Whatever they y'all big. I mean, y'all really got my feet wet and showed me that we can put our own events together.
Right.
We don't have to. You know what I mean? We can do our own thing together. You know what I mean? So, but I did back to that. I did a Christmas New Year's Eve party. And I got to rock for a couple hours, whatever. Right. I'm like, you know what? I can do this. You know what I mean? I can do it. After that, it was just work after that.
No, I feel you on that. So, all right, it's been a journey. So from then, right, to, like you said, you rocking the New Year's party. Let's put it in a time frame. Like how long did it take? Because people think they can jump in the game and that it's going to happen overnight. Clearly, you said you started at 8 doing the parties. How long did it take for you to actually see the fruits of your work?
I've been lucky. I've been blessed. Like, it's funny. The whole Team Collective thing got me here. And I'll tell you how I did that. Because Rob put me on to my first real show. Right? I started DJing for Team Collective, whatever. Then we did the day party at London Bridge, but I've never been to. London Bridge, I've been there, London Bridge, whatever. And through that, I met Trey. I met Trey. We did the day party, whatever. So time passed from there, whatever. And I ended up meeting Trey again at the London Bridge. And he really gave me wings to really grow. Like, all right, I'm gonna have you here every week so you guys can grow. And I needed that to play every week to actually to you know what I mean, to grow. And it works out. It's crazy how things worked out, but it's how it worked out.
And you're still holding it down. You're still there. You're still doing your thing. Every Friday is 11 to 2, right? Every Friday, 11 to 2.
No, 9 to 2.
9 to 2 every Friday. Downtown Raleigh right there. So you're in a prime location. So let's talk about even in that, because it's like, you have to grow these events right there. You got a following as well. So it's like, we're going to get to the mixtapes and other stuff that you do, because you still put out the mixes and stuff like that. So let's talk about building your brand. How did you build your brand? And what was that journey like for you?
When I first started, I sit down, all right, what do I need to do to build the goal I want to go? I need the music, right? I need the music. I need to be able to play. I need to be able to do my own promotion.
Right.
I need to be able to do everything in house. So when I want to make a move, it's on me.
Right.
I do everything in house. I do all my flyers, everything, my logo, everything in house.
Right.
So I want to get to that point where I can do everything in house. So when I'm ready to move, I can move.
You can move.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So
you don't have to worry about nobody else. They taking too long, or they playing around and stuff like that. And one thing that I could say, I remember we did it was a clothing shoot, right? And around the time, it was like I was kind of on the outside. You was on the end, I was on the outside at the time. And it was like a lot of people, they were distant. But it's like one thing I could say about you, bro. Like from the time you first met me, you embraced me, and you've been solid the whole time. You never changed up, never switched. You always been the same. And it's like, I remember, and we're going to get back to the DJ, but I remember I first got my beat machine.
Right.
You hit me up and you're like, yo, bro, you got the machine? I'm like, yeah, you just start giving me mad jewels. In this business, you don't find people that do that, to share the knowledge. It's like they try to keep it to themselves. You're like, bro, you go here. This is where you can get your sounds. This is going to get you in the game. And bro, I ain't never looked back, yo. And I thank you for that, because it's like, yo, you didn't have to do that. It's like some people, they're just good people, bro. And you've been solid the whole time. So like you said, it's like, yo, I'm at the London Bridge. I'm putting in my work. From there, it's like, yo, you build your brand. You said, I'm doing everything in-house. How did you learn how to do the flyers? Was it like all this stuff came together where you already learning this stuff? And it's like, when the time hit, it's like, yo, now I got all the tools I need. Or did you have to learn from scratch?
Right, just like during the day, I drive a bus. During the day, I'm practicing. Well, I can practice. I'm practicing doing the logos, doing the flyers. I'm practicing, getting better. I know I had to master that to be able to where I want to move. So I just did it on my off time, like the logos, the flyers.
Right.
You know, I did everything in steps to get to this point. You know what I mean?
Right. And that's
I want everybody to be together so we can work. You know what I mean?
Right. And that's the thing. And it's like, yo, you definitely putting it together. And it's like you've been consistently doing it. It's like some people, they'll do it for a while and stop. You've been constantly working the whole time. And it's like, yo, I've seen your growth even in that. It's like, yo, you putting out something. If it ain't every week, seems like every 2 weeks, you constantly putting out mixes and stuff like that. So let's talk about that work ethic. Like, yo, was that from putting in the grind in the beginning? Like, where did that work ethic come? Because you always working, bro.
It comes from being from a small town. You know what I mean?
Right.
You had to fight to get in the room. Like, I still feel that way to this day. You know what I mean? I am from a small town. I still feel that way to this day. I had to fight to get into the room. You know what I mean? So I'm going to go extra hard. Right. You know, you got this, I'm trying to do that.
Right.
This how I'm built. You know, I'm going to try to push you as you push me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's a fact right there. So how far do you want to take it, bro? Like, where do you see yourself 10 years from now when it comes to DJing? Like, what's your ultimate goal as far as DJing?
Yes, I do it for the love, man. I do it for the. I actually love DJing. Wow. You know what I mean? I actually would do it for free. That's how much I love it. I just love DJing. You know what I mean? Wow. And once you love something, whatever grows from it, grows from it. I have no big plans, but I just keep doing what I love doing, and let it see what happens.
And
you know what I mean?
Let's see what happens. Did you get to watch the verses, the last one, the Karis one, and the Kane joint?
I actually watched it at London Bridge Pub. It was dope.
Yeah. So let me ask you, yo, what did you think about Kid Capri and Scratch up there?
I think Scratch is a sprinter.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, 100-yard dash, he'll eat your ass. You
right.
know what I mean? Kid Capri is a marathon runner. He'll unlock the party from the beginning, 5-6 hours down the road, he's still gonna be rocking. You know what I mean? So they just two different type of runners to me.
Right.
But scratch, if you in a 10 minutes, sometimes your ass ate.
Right.
You know what I mean? But over a marathon, over a party, you ain't gonna be kicking free.
You ain't gonna be kicking free. You're not gonna be kicking free. And that's two legends in the game. So it's like, yo, is that something like, yo, when we think about DJing, like you said, it's two different techniques. You got party DJs, then you got scratch masters like Scratch was doing with the tricks and the techniques going up under and stuff like that. Like, what are some of your favorite when it comes to that? Like, what's some of your favorite styles of DJing? Like, yo, even if it's like, yo, just something you admire in somebody else, what part of the DJing do you enjoy the most?
My favorite DJ right now, I listen to every weekend on Silent Radio is Scram Jones.
Scram Jones,
his Scram mix be so crazy. Like how he'll play the old original sample and bring be crazy. And it's I still learning. When I heard his mix, I might know the original song, but I don't know the sample.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? So
wow.
So yeah, Scram Jones definitely my favorite right now. He's one that motivates me the most right now.
Yeah, that's a fact right there. And that's the thing. Like it's so creative, and it's so many different styles and so many things you can do with the DJing and stuff like that. So let's talk about, because in the beginning we were talking about the 1200s and the techniques and stuff like that. Over time, everything has evolved now to the Serato, where you have the controllers and stuff like that. So you've been there through both generations, right?
Right.
Do you think it's easier now for DJs, or you think it was harder back then? It's like, I know back then you had to know what you was doing on the techniques. So do you think it made it easier, and is it helpful, or do you think it hurt the game now?
I think, evolution definitely helps the game regardless. It'll be people that's like, we do it this way. And you just used to doing it, being in your lane, whatever. But, I think it's easier for people to get in DJ now, but it's hard for them to stay because it's work. You think you can't just buy a controller and go out there and do it and you done for a week? No, you got to work every day. Whether it's digging in crates or whatever, or constantly looking for new music. It's not. I'm gonna do this on Friday and that's it.
Nah.
So it brings a lot of people into the game, but it can't keep them. You got to love what you're doing.
Gotta love what you're doing, like you said, and that's the thing. It ain't overnight, so it's like, yo, even with the records and stuff like that. Now you got MP3s, but you still gotta download. You still gotta go through and find the stuff. So it's still the same thing. I think the benefit of that part is you don't have to lug all the crates. Because I remember back in the days having to carry the crates in to set up for a party and stuff like that. Whereas like now it's all on the laptop and external drives and stuff like that. So what's some of your best memories? Like if you had to look back on your career so far, what's been some of the highlight moments? It could be when you was at the house with your dad and your family. What's some of the ones that stick out the most to you the most when it comes to DJing?
I mean, two off bait. Okay, the first time I got to DJ at the bridge, whatever.
Right.
I was nervous. I ain't gonna lie, I was nervous. Came out, whatever. It was dope. You know what I mean? And from then on, me and Trey been golden. And the other one, what's the other one I was about to say? When I was doing the tunnel, I went Forest whatnot.
Wow.
And the first two shows was okay. I'm trying to figure it out. But the third show, super dope. Super dope. Shout out my homeboy Lloyd Fly. The third show was crazy. The third show was crazy. And then COVID hit. You know what I mean?
Right. COVID was a problem for everybody right there. COVID slowed things down.
The last show, he got it right. We got it right, and it was definitely a memorable night. I mean, it was just everything was in line, whatever. Yeah,
and that's the thing. It's a science to rocking the crowd too. People don't know that. They think, yo, I'm gonna just get up here. Like, what's some of the things you've learned? Because, like you said, it took us 3 times, but I got it right. So, what's some mistakes that DJs make when they come in? I could say one is playing what they want to play, and they're not connecting with the crowd. What's some things that you noticed that some mistakes that some DJs make?
Just not reading the crowd and not being prepared for everything. Right. You know what I mean? You got to be prepared. You can't come in and say, I'm playing A and B. That's all I play. You know what I mean? Like I said before, you got to put that work in. Like me personally, on Monday, I listen to rock. Tuesday, I listen to reggae music.
Right.
You know what I mean? All day, just random music, whatever. You know what I mean? So I can figure out, I can, navigate if I need to navigate something different.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's a job, man. If you can just do it on the weekends.
Nah, it's an everyday job. And that's the thing. And you rock different types of crowds. You rock all different types. It ain't like you just doing. Right.
You got to lock in on somebody too. Lucky, most times I try to lock in on a group of people and have them rocking.
Right.
When with them rocking, I can spread it out. You know what I mean?
Right.
Makes it a lot easier.
Wow. Yeah, and that's real right there. And that's a jewel right there. Because a lot of times I see some DJs, right? They can rock. They get in certain situations. It's like, yo, you might be in an urban club and you can rock. Put you on Glenwood, somebody sweating under pressure, like, yo, you wrong crowd. So like you said, you just dropped the jewel on them, being versatile, where it's like, yo, different things. You might have to play some rock. You might have to play some top 50. Right. You know, you can't just stick to, I'm going to just play underground music. That's all I play is boom bap. If that ain't the crowd, yo, man.
That's a long night, too. That's a long night. You go there in the crowd, it's wrong. It's a long night, man.
It's a long night, yo. I had a homeboy that used to DJ back in the day. It was like, you know, he was starting out. That was around the crates. That's when we was carrying the crates in. And a quick story, funny story. I'm pretty sure every DJ that went through one of these moments. But it was like we was at a party. He was just hyped to get in there. Like, yo, they finally let him get in the club. Like, yo, we're gonna try you out. Based on how he did, they was gonna give him another night. We telling him, like, yo, it's a mixed crowd. It's a mixed crowd. Don't go in there with that boom bap. Yo, he went in there, he set it off with the KRS-One. He taking them back to the 80s. Next thing you know, nobody's dancing. Whole dance floor clears out, right? And then next thing you know, somebody comes up to the DJ booth and they say, yo, can you play this? 2 or 3 people come to the booth now. It was like, yo, for an hour straight, he was just taking requests. He had lost the crowd so much. Right. He could never get it back. Yo, have you seen those type of situations before in your career? Whether even if it's not you, just being in the party where it's like the DJs lose the crowd and now they're making a request like, yo, nah, you just play the songs. Have you ever seen that before?
Yeah, you gotta have those nuggets you have tucked away just for that emergency. Like, you know what I mean? Them super songs that can give you a song or two to get the crowd back.
Right, to get them
tucked away. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you'll be okay. But if you want no nuggets, it's a long night.
It's a long night. Yeah. So let me ask you, what's one of your go-tos? Like, yo, if the crowd seems like they thinning out, what's one of your go-tos that's like, yo, I know I'm gonna bring them back?
For with a mixed crowd?
With a mixed crowd.
Like if it's more ladies, something with a little reggae tone to it. You know what I mean? Like some Sean Paul. That's real. It's real broad. Everybody knows Sean Paul. They'll bring ladies out. Once you get the ladies dance, you can bring everybody else back in. You know what I mean? You
bring everybody back in. So what if you're in a thug crowd? What you gonna play? It's all thugs in there.
That mob.
Play that mob.
That mob, you know what I'm saying? The mob can get you open some lanes up for you.
Yo, that's a fact. That's a fact right there, yo. And those golden eras, Sean Paul, yo, definitely gets it going and Mobb Deep. So that's definitely real right there. But like you said, you from hip hop, you from history, you know the music. So it's like, yo, it's a science to it. So it's like you said, if you just listening to what's hot right now, a lot of DJs, they do that. They follow what's hot now. Like, okay, I'm gonna just play Pop Smoke all night. That ain't gonna kick it all the time. So it's like you said, there's a science behind it. And that's definitely dope right there. So let me ask, like, what's been some of the moments where it's like, yo, you want to forget? Like, yo, that night, I don't even want to think about it no more. Like, yo, if you could just pick one, what was a night where it's like, yo, it was a long night. I don't even want to, kind of like a quarterback throw the interception in the big game. Like, yo, I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even.
Well, no, it wasn't bad though. We did a show. Me and Fly did a show. I think at the Lincoln Theater. I'm not sure. But anyway, it was all indie artists, whatever. Right. I was like, yo, send me your music early so I can have it ready to go. Right? Nobody sent me their music early. So I got to the show. I had done everybody's music and go through the playlist. So I had no time to really get in those zones. It was like, just go. You know what I mean?
Right.
And, you know what I mean? I said rock, but I couldn't get no type of flow because I had no type of warm up. It was just like,
right,
then just go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was still fun though, but
yeah,
I like having that time to warm up a little bit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a fact right there. Yo, you can help the promoters and some of the indie artists right there. Let's talk about that importance of sending the music in advance. Like a lot of times people show up with the flash drive, but now you got to load it. Now it kills the vibe. Right. So like, let's for the artists out there, like, let's get them some game right quick. Some of the promoters that's doing these showcases. what's the importance of that having organization, like where the show can flow smooth, where it's like you said, where it's like they just showing up. How important is that for putting on a successful show?
It's super important. Like I said, if you show up to the showtime, and for any reason your file don't load or whatever, you know what I mean? What you want to do? It's nothing I can do to help you with that, whatever. You send to me a week in advance, I can have you already set up in the playlist. You ready to go? I just pull your playlist and you already track 1, 2, 3, 4. You ready to go? Boom. So your night will be easy. All you have to do is come and perform. But then music-wise, you ready to go? Right. You know. And I said I hate doing it showtime. You know, because I said I'm reading the crowd. I'm seeing how the crowd looking. I'm trying to get my vibe right so I can play right. You know what I mean? Right.
Nah, that's a fact. That's a fact right there. So let's talk about the beat production side right there, because they go hand in hand, because it's like the same thing, tempos, melodies, and putting blends together and stuff like that. So how did you get into production in the beginning?
Kind of always been into it. Like when I was young, I was the kid who had a little keyboard, Casio keyboard. You know, I was that kid. They had the keyboards, trying to make beats off keyboards, whatever. You know what I mean? So it just go hand in hand with like, just doing remixes to songs that. Exclusive remixes that only you got versus any other DJ got, whatever. So it kind of go hand in hand, whatever.
Yeah, and that's a fact right there. You've been doing that. You've been putting out the exclusive joints like that. So how important is that, separating yourself from everybody else, like to be able to pull out a joint nobody ever heard? How important is that for you as a DJ?
It's dope. It's dope. I mean, it's like spin a bar that to set the crowd and like, hold up. He just say that, you know what I mean? You know, he just make people just think from like, where that come from? You know what I mean? It's rewarding itself. To see people think like, where that come from? You know what I mean? So,
yeah, and that's the thing. You've done a lot of mixes and a lot of blends and mixtapes and themes and stuff like that. So if you had to pick 3 of your favorites, DJ Red Trunk mixes, like if we talking about a whole project, whatever. I know you say you've been doing them for years, but if you had to pick 3 of your favorites, what's your top 3?
One of my favorites is it's Red October. I did it a couple of years ago, about 5 years ago. I did it, you know, for my birthday. I did that one. That's one of my favorites. The Outsiders. One of my favorites. And I can't think right now. The Outsiders is my favorite. Right. And I did one before that. Outsiders, and I can't think of it.
Yeah, it's all good.
Top 2, the Outsiders and the Red October is my favorite. I think my favorite too.
Okay, yeah, that'll work right there. So, like, what type of gear did you like the best? Like, you know, when we talk about the keyboards and stuff like that, what's some of your favorite gear to use when you're making productions?
Well, I got a machine a couple years back when it first came out. I got the small one first. Right. And I always liked the way it worked. Plus, I DJ with Tractor, and that's the same company, so they kind of intermingle. So then I got the machine whatever, and you know, I just like the way the flow worked with the work process, whatever.
Right. So the machines you go to. Yeah. You said the machines is one of your go-to joints right there. That Native Instruments.
Yeah, I definitely deal with Native Instruments, whatever. I like Serato, but I grew up in Tractor, so it's hard for me to switch. Right.
Yeah, and that's the thing right there. And it's like, it's like kind of like back in the day, it was the MPC. You had some people that used the MPC. You had some people that like the ASR. So it's like kind of like preference. You might have the Triton, then some people might like the motif. So it's preference. So Native Instruments, that's what I got too. That's what you put me on to. Like, go over here and get the sounds and stuff like that. So let's talk about, what's your creative process like when you're going in to make a beat? Like, how do you get in your zone to make a beat?
Well, I start with the drums.
Start with the drums first.
Start with the drums, whatever. And I'm gonna find a sample and maybe play with it a little bit, or I'm just on the keyboard and just play around till I find something that I want to know. I have an idea how I want it to sound. Right. I got to find it to make those two match, whatever. But I start with the drums first.
Start with the drums. So let me ask, when you do your sampling and stuff like that, do you like to chop it, or do you kind of like, do the loops, or do you rather chop the sample up? Like, like Knife Wonder and them type style? Then you have some people that where the sample plays a little bit. What's your technique?
I'm more of a looper than chop.
Me too. What I mean? Me too.
I love chop, but I like having a dope loop. Right. You know what I mean?
Nah, I feel you on that. So it's like, yo, I be going through trying to get the loops. One thing that I do struggle with. Now I will say that when it comes to like doing the loops and stuff like that, is hiding the loop. Like sometimes, you might get a sample and people don't know where the sample come from.
Right.
Sometimes it's like my samples are riding, they're like the main. I got to figure out a way where I bring my drums up and tuck the sample up underneath. So like, what's things you learned from the beginning when you first started making beats to now? Like, how has it got easier for you? And what's some things that you learned from?
The biggest thing I learned is that don't trust your ears. Like, you know what I mean? Have somebody that's gonna be honest with you.
Right.
Listen to your shit. And I'm sorry. Listen to your
No,
stuff.
you can curse, bro. You can.
Like, listen to your shit, whatever, and give you because your ears after a while you can be numb to it. You
Right.
might have your sample might be too high, or your drum might be too low, and he's gonna hear that. You're not gonna hear that initially. So have somebody have your right hand like, yo, listen to this and tell me what you do to it. You know what I mean? That's the biggest.
That's the biggest. That's the biggest right there. So if you had to pick 4 of your favorite producers, who would they be?
It gotta be Q-Tip.
Q-Tip.
Kanye, Premier. And my man. I like Knife too. Knife, yeah. Plus he's from the spot, so yeah.
Yeah, and that's a fact right there. And they all got different styles and stuff like that. They all got their own different thing. And that's the thing with creating and being creative in music and stuff like that. Everybody is a lane for everybody. Sometimes it's like, yo, people might not catch on to the lane. It's just like Jay Dilla and all of them have their own styles. Primo is definitely in my top 2. But it's like they all have their niche. Everybody has their niche that makes them good. That's the thing about music. It's like there's enough room for everybody to eat. So if you had to describe your sound, like what's your type of sound when you make your productions? Like how would you describe your sound?
More Black Moonish, boot camp click ish type, that type era. You know what I mean?
Right.
Those type of beats. You know what I mean? I don't like stuff that's too fast. I like that old classic boom bap, you know what I mean?
That boom bap hip hop.
Yeah.
That's what I was gonna ask you next. Like, what was your favorite era of music? Like throughout time has evolved so much. Like, what was this was like, this is my jam. I was more of a like that Mobb Deep, the Queensbridge era with the Nas, Mobb Deep, Biggie and them was out. But it was like that was
early 90s, like 90 through 95 was crazy for music. Crazy for music. You know what I mean? 95 was crazy for music. So I say early 90s probably my favorite. But I like late 80s too.
Late 80s. Late 80s.
So it's really no time, but I like that era though. I think we grew up in the best era.
Right. No, that's a fact. No, that's a fact right there. And it's like even some of the stuff now I rock with, but it's like, that like you said, that's what I was more comfortable with. That's what I gravitated to because that's what I knew around that time. So it's like, that's real right there. So let me ask you, okay, like if you had to pick your top 5 artists or your top 5 groups, like when it comes to DJ Red Trunk, music. We're gonna do it in every genre now. You do a little bit of everybody. If you had to pick 5 go-tos, like this is who I rock with. Who would some of them people be?
5 artists that you got to show love to. It got to be Jay. It got to be Drake. It got to be Kanye. You got to play some. Damn it! You got to being from the South. You got to play a little bit T.I. Or Jeezy. Just a little bit because being from where you from. And plus, you believe it or not, a lot of people know those songs. You wouldn't generally expect. And then Gangstar,
Guru, salute the Guru. And the Guru, he was in the lane of his own. Like even in that era, his voice down to the voice, the message he was spitting, like Gangstar was ahead of their time, like way ahead of their time right there. So let's take it to reggae. Like what's some of your favorite reggae artists?
Reggae artists. I'm more classical. I like for a minute. I just went blank. I think in the song Boy Shorts. I think was damn name, whatever. Shit.
Yeah.
Shaba.
Shaba.
Mad Lion.
Man.
Super Cat. Big Super Cat fan.
Yo. Yes.
What's my man name?
It's all good, bro.
Yeah.
You named some legends already, so it's all good, bro. One thing you said, you just named Matt Lyon. One thing about it at that versus, yo, it looked like that dude ain't aged nothing. Yo, he look exactly.
He definitely
Even down to the dreads, they still the same length and everything.
He definitely eating good. You know what I mean? He definitely taking care of himself. You know what I mean? Because he looks exactly the same. You know what I mean?
Like exactly the same right there. And that thing, it's joints like that that's always gonna ring out. When that Shoot to Kill came in, it hit the same way it did when it first dropped. Like, yo, it's certain joints like that that's just like, as soon as you hear them, you know they timeless classics like that. So it's like when you picking songs for your mixes and stuff like that, what stands out to you the most? Is it like the beat? Is it like the energy that it gives you? Like, how do you know when you listen to a record, like, yo, this is a banger right here?
I know when I first heard a record, if I have to immediately hit repeat.
Right.
When I heard it joint, I'm running it back.
Right.
If I have to run it back immediately, I gotta keep that. You know what I mean?
Right.
If I play the whole record like, all right, it's all right, and keep moving, I'm not done with it. But if I had to run it back, we'll stop running back about 3 or 4 times. You know what I mean? When I do run it back. Like, yeah. You know what I mean? I need this.
That's a keeper right there. And that's the thing, yo. Like, what's your process like? Because I know a lot of times, like, I get frustrated with the programming the radio station. Like, you got so much music out here, right? So you got thousands of music coming out every month. And you're going, it's like, man, by 30 minutes into an hour and I got a headache. Like, yo, I don't want to hear another song. So let me ask you, like, yo, like, what's your process like? Because I know I'll be pulling my hair out. Like, yo, you got to find. What I'm trying to say is you got to go through so much to find the jewels, but it's like so oversaturated. A lot of the stuff just sounds the same repeated over, where it's like, all right, it's okay, but it's not, you know what I mean? So it's like, what's your process like for you?
The biggest, I guess, weapon, I guess, in my arsenal is Sirius Radio.
Sirius Radio.
There's no process.
Right.
You turn on, you don't hear DJs from upstate playing them joints that you haven't heard yet.
Right.
They just got them. So now I mean, so you got, all right, boom. So you all right, and there's no process. You always in the car. You always got your buzz, whatever. You always can listen to another DJ. You know what I mean? And that's the biggest tool. I get so many joints from there, and just immediately come home and find them, and then I got them.
Right.
You know.
So you ain't even got to do all the digging and stuff like
that. They don't play everything you need to hear. You need to listen to it, you know what I mean?
You gotta listen to it. Yeah, that's the thing right there. I'm gonna have to tap in because like I'm like still old school, kind of like the DJ pool. So I might get a bundle of music. It might be 500 joints that was released this month, and I'm sitting there like, man, what the? Out of that 500, like 400 is trash off the gate. Like, yo, what is this? Yo, I be pulling my hair out. So yo, I definitely might have to do that. I might have to take that from you, start tapping in the Sirius Radio and stuff like that.
It's easy. You see, I mean, every Friday night you gonna hear about 5 joints, so you like, I need that.
I need that.
You know what I mean?
No, that's a fact right there. So let me ask you, which one do you enjoy the most? I know you enjoy both. They both your passions, but it's like, yo, which one stands out the most? What part of it? Is it like the DJ and the party? Is it making the mixtapes? Or is it like just finding the records? Like, what part of that process do you enjoy the most?
I love the DJing the best. I mean, the most because it's more, you know, making a mixtape or whatever, doing something behind doors, whatever. You have to wait to see people's reaction.
Right.
If they don't like it, whatever. But DJing, whatever, you know immediately. You play the wrong song, you know immediately. I just played the wrong song. Or you play the right song, yeah. I just played the right song. You know what I mean?
Right.
So DJing is definitely, it's right there. You see it firsthand.
Yeah, that's a fact right there, yo. You ever had any moments where it's like you play the joint and it's the wrong song? Like, I'm never playing that again. It's like, yo, I thought it was gonna make it. You play it, the response, like, yo, get this out of here. You ever had any of those moments where it's like the response so bad, like, I'm never playing that again?
Right, yeah. Right. I have jumped the gun before. When I play a song they're not ready for yet. If I waited maybe an hour later, they would be ready for it. I played it a little too early. Right. You know what I mean? Like, I should have held that a little bit longer.
Yo, see, that's another skill right there. Like, timing is everything. Yo, so like, what's the prime time for most parties? Would you say between 12 and 1:30? What's the prime time or the height where it's like, now it's time to go to work?
I say about 12:45.
About 12:45.
But
Everybody in there.
so you in the spot. You like, I'm in this spot, so I'm gonna be in this spot the rest of the night. And you got your first good drink. You already been drinking. You got your first good drink. You all right? I got a little time for the bar closed, so now we're gonna go ahead and get in.
Right.
About 12:45 is the time you ready. You bring them heaters out.
That's
when
when it's
you
time
the
to go.
rest of the night.
That's time to go to work.
Yeah.
That's a fact right there. So okay, we talked about COVID a little bit. How did COVID affect you when it comes to DJing?
It was positive. It was positive for me.
Right.
I had a conversation with another DJ about the same situation. Like if you DJ the same way you did before COVID hit, you lost mad time because you was in the crib, couldn't go nowhere. Right. But you had the equipment for you. You should have been using that time. So you sound the same way you sound when you went before COVID. And you sound now. You lost 2 years probably.
Right. Because it's like now you had nothing but time to practice and stuff like that. So it's even like with the business owners, it's kind of like some people fell off. Now I ain't gonna say fell off, but their businesses suffered. I would say that instead. Then you had some people that stepped in the hustle mode where it's like, I got to grind and I got to go get it. A lot of people started businesses. They start finding other ways. Like, yo, they put their best foot forward. So when you think about DJing, you just said a powerful thing. It's like, yo, you had 2 years to get on your grind to be putting in the work. So if you were sitting there with your feet up and you chilling or whatever, it shows that you weren't hungry. So now that things are opening back up, what can people expect from you?
From me?
Yeah.
You expect to see a live DJ. Right. Every time I play live. Nothing pre-recorded.
Wow.
I'm not playing the whole time I'm there.
Right.
You know what I mean? And every week's different. It's a different playlist. I go into a venue with knowing my first 2 songs. That's it. No playlist. I know my first 2 songs, and I go from there.
Right.
You know what I mean? So everything won't be the same. It won't be repetitive. The same, the same set every week. You know music. Like I heard this before. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, that's the thing right there. So it's like you said, going in, you never think about that. Like if you're not a DJ, that's stuff that we don't think about. Like, yo, so you go in with the first 2, you might have some songs in mind, but it's like pretty much like go in with these first 2, and from there it's based on the crowd, how they feeling, my mood.
Right.
Yo, so it's definitely a skill in that. So let me ask you, how long you think all together you've been DJing? How many years?
Probably about 10 years.
About 10. Ooh.
And all together, about 10 years.
10 years. And that's the thing, yo. You're only gonna go further from here. You're gonna keep going from here. So I already know you're gonna keep going harder, keep getting better and stuff like that. So if people thought about Red Trunk, like how do you want your legacy to be known? Like when people speak of Red Trunk, when they say DJ Red Trunk, what do you want people to know you for?
Like what you said, you know what I mean? Like he was always the same person.
Right. You
know what I mean? Every time he saw me, he spoke. He was always the same person. He was always who he was. You know what I mean?
Right.
In the day, I can live with that. You know what I mean?
And that's the thing, yo. You always been solid. You always been stand up, yo. And that's the thing. It's like, yo, you don't find too many people, right, that's solid in the business. And the thing is, you said I do it for the love. Even though, you're making money from it. It's like, yo, that's not my drive. That's not my motive. And you can tell the difference when somebody's doing it for, they doing it for clout, or they doing it for the women, or they doing it for popularity, than the person that actually doing it for the love. Yo, so that's the thing right there. And it's like when you're doing it for the love, you don't have to pretend. You don't have to be nobody else. It's like, yo, this is who I am.
Right. You just show up and display. There's no pressure.
No pressure, yo. And that's the thing, yo. I know you're going to keep evolving. And I know it's only up from here. So again, yo, I wanted to bring you up here to give you your flowers because like I said, you've been consistently doing it. And it's like, yo, a lot of times it's like, if we be real, a lot of times it's like favoritism and clicks and stuff like that. So it's like in certain situations where the name need to be dropped. Right. It's like, yo, they're going to mention they homeboy, or they're going to mention the politic answer. You know what I mean? Where it's like, yo, but people, when they putting in dues and they putting in their work, right? You've been constantly working as long as I know you. Like I said, yo, if it ain't every week, it's like, yo, I remember you used to hit me in the inbox like, yo, the mixes. You know what I mean? And I'm watching them. I may not always say something, but I'm like, yo, bro, it's over there working. So it's like, yo, it's paying off. So to see where you are, to see you still going, and even back then at the London, you know what I mean? It's like, I don't go out much because I'm a single dad and all that. But it's like, yo, I be seeing the flyers. I still be saying, yo, you still putting in the work. It's like, yo, bro, your work ethic is crazy. Like if you had to put it in time, we talking on air. How long have you been at the London? We talking about at least 4 or 5 years, bro.
Yeah, I've been there a minute. You know, they really gave me a platform to grow.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm big time loyal to them, whatever. You know what I mean? They give me a platform to grow, whatever, you know.
Yeah. And that's
So,
the thing. And that's the thing. And that's the thing. If you in the business, you don't see people stick and stay. So when I think about London, I think about Dennis and I think about these are good people that's been around. Dennis is the same way. Right. It's like no matter what, he ain't never changed on me. Yo, what up? We might have a drink, shake hands, whatever, but he's always the same. It don't matter if I seen him yesterday or a year later.
That's why he's the big homie. That's why he's big bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
that's why it's salute to him.
Yo, and that's the thing. So when you see people like that, and it's like good people around each other, and they still years later, they're still working. It's still the same. That says a lot about the character. A lot of times people jumping ship, they jumping from team to team, moving around. Yo, you hot, let me connect with you. Those people don't last. But when you see people that's still solid to their circle, that shows loyalty. That shows character. Like, yo, we're family. It's bigger than that. We all gonna shine together. We gonna lose together. We gonna win together. Right. Yo, so that's the thing. When I think about Red Trump, your character, bro, it's like, yo, you know what I mean? It don't matter. Like, yo, you in your lane, you doing you, and you've been winning. You've been progressing the whole time. You've been evolving. You didn't go down. It's not like you on a downward slope. You're still going up. And it's like I said, the character never changed. The loyalty never changed. And that means a lot because I done had my ups and downs. I done been, the guy. I done been the guy who was like, oh, everybody rocking with me. But I also been the guy where I'm on the out now, where everybody, oh, he got this going on. Y'all brothers never changed on me. Stayed solid the whole time. And that means a lot because it's like, yo, when you out there and you feel like sometimes we feel like these people really love us. No. Then something happens, they pull the love away. No. Like, I almost lost my mind at one time, bro.
It's only a few people that really fuck with you.
It's only a few that really fuck with you.
I mean, you can count them on one hand. If you count on 2 hands, you got too many. You got to be able to count them on one hand. That's it. That really fuck with you.
Yo, and that's a fact right there. And that's one thing a hard lesson I had to learn. And it's like in them dark moments or whatever, them low times is where you find out like, damn, like, yo, sometimes it's like, yo, some people don't even speak to you. Right. Like, yo, you done gave your last and broke your back for you. And they'll see you and like, yo, I ain't fucking with him. But it's like, yo, when you see those people that stay loyal, yo, and that smile and you dapping each other up, and it's like, yo, that genuine love, bro. So I wanted to salute you and give you your flowers, yo. Dennis is in the comments too. Salute to him. Yo, I wanted to salute both of y'all because it's like, yo, y'all never changed. Y'all stayed solid. Y'all been consistent with me the whole time. And with the platform, that's what it was created for. It's like, yo, because I always been the underdog, right? So it's like, yo, people may not mention my name. So it's like when people ask me like, yo, who's who? I'm going to mention the people that stay solid. I'm not going to mention who's popular. I'm not going to mention these people don't rock with me. I'm going to rock with the ones that rock with me. So it's like, yo, when I reached out and I'm like, yo, bro, I got to get you up here. That's the reason why. Because it's like, yo, I remember, I don't know if you remember, we was at a pool party. It was like we was at a pool doing the shoot.
Right.
We're around my family. I'm not going to put no names out there. Right. But around this time, it was like, yo, cats wasn't rocking with me. I was on the outside. You know what I mean? And it was like, yo, I remember I was busting it up with you.
Right.
Like you, yo, what's up? Yo, like we just really meeting. Like, yo, what's up, bro? The love was more there from you than the people I had been running with for years. Yo, that means a lot, bro. In the moments right there. So again, it's like, yo, I wanted to salute you on that. Yo, and I know that it's only up from here. I know that you're gonna keep working, you can keep grinding. So going into 2022, you said Fridays, you got the London every Friday from 9 to 2. What can the people expect out there? What type of crowd is it? What type of music you playing?
If you love hip hop, you're gonna be out there. We're doing fresh sets every week.
Right.
You know what I mean? We're doing live music the whole night. We got a great bar, full food menu, and it's me and Trey out there. Calling Nash, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
That's what we do.
Yeah, and that's a fact, yo. So with the mixtapes that you be putting out, right? The blends and the mixes you be putting together, where can the people find them at?
They are on SoundCloud. You just type in DJ Red Trump
on SoundCloud. Okay.
SoundCloud.
After it's over, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna copy the link and I'm gonna put it in the Facebook comments, and then I'm gonna put it in the YouTube descriptions so that they can find it. Is there any other place that they can find any of your mixes or somewhere else outside of SoundCloud that I need to add in there as well?
Nah, I just been doing straight SoundCloud for now.
Straight SoundCloud for now. Yo, there's nothing wrong with that. Yo, you got any updates, any shout outs, anything you want to give? I don't want to hold you all night, bro.
Oh nah, shout out to everybody, man. You know what I'm saying? It's been a big year for me as far as this life changes, whatever.
Right.
Shout out to all my fam, you know what I mean? All my true friends who stood beside me, whatever.
Right.
It's been good, man. It's been good.
And that's the thing, yo. I see you doing the daddy thing and all that. Yo, you happy? Yo, you don't see that. Yo, that's a big salute right there, yo. So even in that in itself, it's like a motivation. You a family man. I see you always, yo. You always holding it down, yo. You know what I mean? It's like some people too cool for that.
Nah.
You put your family first, bro, and that's a salute on that right there. Being a black man, stepping up, being a father.
My biggest boss, you know what I mean? She keep me in tune, you know what I mean? So right. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, that's a fact right there, yo. Hopefully down the road, yo, we can bring you back up here. We can do some more updates. And yo, I want to get with you about some of the mixes as well. If you want to put some of them up so we can put them on the radio station. I think we had talked about it before. I might have dropped the ball on it, but I just relaunched it. So we're trying to put that together as well. Yo, definitely appreciate you coming up. Yo, again, you got any last words for the people out there that you want to drop on them?
Nah, man, I just want a big salute to you, man. Yo. I see you moving, man. I see you moving, man.
Trying to
keep it going up. You know what I mean? Give me your flowers. You know what I'm saying? You deserve it, B.
Yo, I appreciate it. Yo, I appreciate that, bro. Yo, and that's the thing, yo. It's love, yo. And we all go up. That's one thing I try and tell people. We all rise by lifting one another up. It's like, yo, you can rise by stepping on people, but eventually you're gonna see them same people on the way back down. It's like, yo, when it's from the heart and it's genuine, it's like, yo, it's organic. You don't have to fake it. You don't have to pretend. It's like, yo, and that's just that's just through trials and errors, from being broken down to the point where like losing everything. It's like, yo, you look at.
You gotta lose to know how to win. You gotta lose. You gotta take the L to learn how to win. You know what I mean? So. Yo,
that's a fact right there. So again, yo, big salute to you. I want to thank everybody that tuned in, whether they watched the live or you watched the playback. Yo, we thank y'all. Yo, everybody that hit that like and subscribe. Be sure to follow DJ Red Trunk. You can follow him at fresh_Friday_LBP. It's on the screen. That's the right one, right?
Yep.
Okay, be sure to tap in with him. You can find him on Facebook under Toby Lee. Is it on a Facebook? Is it a like page like for DJ Red Trunk, or is Toby Lee the best place for them to hit you?
Toby probably the best place to go.
All right, so tap in with him on Toby Lee. That's DJ Red Trunk on Facebook. Is there any other social medias that you want to plug before we go?
Yeah, you can find me on Instagram too. My regular joint is at TWF DJ Red Trunk.
Yo, I'm gonna put that in the thing. If you hit me in the inbox, I'll put that in the comments as well. Yo, and again, thank you, bro. I appreciate your time, yo. Much love to you. Yo, and keep grinding, bro. We're definitely gonna connect and be in touch, bro.
All right, fam. Appreciate you.
All right, love, yo. Thank y'all for watching, yo. This is the Proof in the Pudding podcast show. I go by the name of Sion 919, and today we're saluting DJ Red Trunk. We want to thank everybody, yo. Y'all be safe this weekend. We love y'all. Peace.